What a wonderful world.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to Real. This is a really interesting podcast episode today because I am actually live streaming on TikTok. So when you guys see this, it's not going to be live anymore, but basically people are sending in questions right now as I speak. And I'm going to be chatting to them, but the whole thing is recorded. So if you guys are missing it on TikTok right now, you are seeing this. It's going to live on Spotify and on YouTube so you guys can listen. We are just going to be doing like a fun Q&A, and basically you guys are just going to be sitting in on my live stream, which is really cool and something I've been wanting to do for a while. And if we enjoy this, I will definitely do more of these because I low-key think this is such a fun way to podcast. So people in the comments on TikTok, I'm looking at you. Let's chit chat. Let's get it going. What is the worst date you've ever been? Oh, well, you guys know already. Like, if you know, you know. Real ones know the worst date I've ever been on because it wasn't really the first. Well, it was like a 2-part date. It was like the first date and the second date was really bad. And now I live afraid of running into this man. Like, to this day, I live scared to run into him. It's so bad. That was definitely the worst. Really, like, dates can't be that bad because, like, we, as in me and you guys, have great personalities. So, like, it can't be that bad, you know? Like, when I have fun on a date, me and my friends always talk about this. When we have fun on a date, it's because, like, we're fun. Like, you know, it's impossible to have a bad date with us. Like, we're not going to have a bad time unless the guy is, like, actually insane. Like, because we can hold a conversation, we're normal, you know? Favorite artist you saw in concert? I saw J. Cole in concert many years ago, and it was such a fun and, like, cool concert. And I'm not, like, I feel like people are going to be like, you're such a loser, but I'm not really, like, super into rap or anything, but J. Cole is, like, my favorite artist, like one of my favorite artists of all time. So just like that lives very high in my ranking. But you guys know Noah Khan is like my life, my literal life. So that definitely is like takes the cake. And then also Sam Smith, like any of my Sam Smith concert experiences just live rent free in my head. Fake friendships in your 20s. I mean, what do you want to know about it? Like, it happens. It happens. I think as you get deeper into your 20s, they're less fake. Like, let's be for real. But in the beginning, it is very hard to kind of navigate those situations. Also, for people listening to the podcast that are on the YouTube version, if I'm looking kind of like off to the side, it's because I'm looking at the girlies on TikTok right now. So my gaze might be going back and forth. So sorry about that if it's like looks weird. But okay, let's talk about fake friendships. What do we want to know about friendships in our 20s? And what do we want to know about fake friendships? I think like it is difficult in the beginning to kind of navigate because I'm the type of person, especially in college, like I started to make certain friends and like I had this idea, like my ego played a big role. Like I wanted to be friends with people because I thought they were cool. I thought they would make me cooler. And that's just not the case because they end up fucking you over in the end, which like sucks. But I had a very tough time in college because slowly I kind of realized like, oh, these people that are like cool in quotes aren't the people that are like gonna be there for me, you know? And so when I graduated college and came into the city, I felt like even though I knew that, I kind of like you're exposed to so many new people. It's just important to keep that in the back of your mind because it is easy to fall into that trap again of like, oh, I'm meeting a cool person. It's natural. It happens. Like, I feel like as women a lot are just like, I don't know. How many years ago did you graduate? I graduated in 2019. So it feels like a while ago. How do you trust friends again after being betrayed and having so much trauma? This is a really tough one, and you don't. I think it's a really healthy thing to, if you're the type of person like me who is a little bit too trusting, to take back some of that trust and realize like it's like not chill to just like trust random people that you meet. I've learned this a lot recently, like not even recently, just in the last like 4 years or whatever, like living in the city, living in any new city, you just meet so many new people so fast. It's so often like you can meet a new person everywhere you go, especially living in New York City. And something I learned, New York, LA, other cities maybe, people like a lot of the time want something or like have intentions that like if you're typically just like a nice person and you like a lot of people and you get along with most people, it might just pass you by. You might not even realize. It might just go over your head. So I think it's super important in those cases to surround yourself with people that will have those blinders, that if you have blinders, they can take those down and see a person's true intentions. Like the best thing I have is like my two best friends, Amanda and Erica, who like always see people's true intentions when I don't always. Like it's kind of important to recognize where you have blind spots and like have your friends make up for it in that way, or your family. How can you balance friends and studying in a healthy way? I think it's just that. It's balance. Like knowing that sometimes you are going to have to miss out if your priorities are going to be studying, are going to be your career, going to be school. Like, and it's actually not missing out. It's because at the end of the day, like you're doing something for you. You have to realize like you have to change your mindset, because when your friends are going out, like they're going out, they're having a good time. But if you're putting in work for something, like you're being selfish in a good way. You're doing something that's for you. And maybe if you feel bad, you need to reframe it as like, look, they're not going to do as well on their test or whatever, you know, like whatever you need to do, it might not be true, but whatever you need to do to kind of make yourself feel better about that situation. And I do that too. I mean, honestly, like sometimes when my friends go out drinking and if I'm home on a Friday night too, like that's my sanctuary. Like use that as your like selfish time. Like it's okay to be like that. Yeah, I think like balance is key in life. You're not going to be able to you can't be two places at once. Jomo, you guys know my audio, Jomo. You can't be in two places at once, and you kind of have to just, as you get older, you learn to throw that out the window and just be like, fuck it. I literally can't be in two places at once. Like if your gut is telling you you need to stay home, no regrets, push it all out of the way, have your glass of poppy or your like whatever, watch your movie and put on a face mask, you know, like do what you need to do to, treat yourself and make yourself feel like it is still a treat if you're staying home. Even if you are studying or working, find other ways to kind of make it feel like a special treat for you. I hope that helps. I've been really also like, just to chat about this for a bit. I know I talked about this last week on the podcast if you guys listened, but I've been in a funk. I've been not doing well. Last Friday night, I came back from my trip to Austin, and I came home Friday and I sat on the floor of my living room and I sobbed. And I'm not a crier. I don't cry often. And I'm not saying this for anyone to feel bad for me or anything. It like hit me. I think the like exhaustion hit me and life caught up to me, and it was a mix of like exhaustion and anxiety, and my exhaustion making my anxiety worse. And I just sat on the floor and I just like outwardly sobbed, like out loud. And I don't know, I was just like, I was triggered by certain things with my eating when I was away, and my anxiety was acting up because I was busy. Just things that, you know, like life happens. And I think 27, creeping up on 27 has been really weird. It's been really weird for me. Like I can't explain it. Something in me, I was talking to my therapist about this today, and she was like, I wonder if it's because like your biological clock, like you're feeling a little bit panicked about being 27. And it's that, and it's being single. I went to Mother's Day after I had my breakdown. And like I'm so grateful for my family and everything. But I went to Mother's Day, and two of my cousins who have never been in relationships in their life came to Mother's Day with their significant others, and they were both so happy, and I'm so happy for them. But it was like a shock to just see them like that, because I've just never seen them like that before in my life. And then on top of that, I'm the oldest girl cousin, and something about it, just like I was sitting on a chair and I was watching everyone laughing and happy around me, and I just felt so alone. Like I was just sitting there, and I don't know. I just like felt like I hadn't felt that way in so long. I used to feel that way in college when I was depressed, because I felt like none of these people get me, and like I was losing, like I had weird issues with friendships, and I don't know, it gave me kind of a flashback to that feeling I had in college when I was really unhappy. But I just was sitting on like the chair looking at everyone around me, and I was like, I feel so alone right now, and I don't know why. And I just think it's okay to like feel that way sometimes. And it was something I think like lately I just needed to feel. And I never in my life have ever been affected by being single, which is really weird. Like most people would assume it gets to me sometimes, because that's normal. It's supposed to get to you sometimes. Like it happens. But it wasn't until, I don't know why, just creeping up onto my 27th birthday, that I've been feeling all of these emotions with being single and with turning 27 and seeing all these people around me be in relationships and be happy and feel secure. And I don't know, it wasn't that I wanted that for a long time and I didn't get it, because that's not the truth. The truth is, for a long time, I've been good being alone. And like, that's what made me happy. And that's what I wanted. Because if I wanted to get into a relationship, I would have dated. But I haven't been dating for like really years. But all of a sudden, and I talked about this on my TikTok as well, I made a video. All of a sudden, this like flip switched. And I was like, I think I like feel lonely. And I think I like don't want to be alone anymore. And it was a really overwhelming feeling for me. Really just like it all hit me at once. And so this week when I came back to the city and I was alone and I had time to think, all of a sudden then I went through this emotion of that hit me, and, you know, just my anxiety and everything. I just this week have been so weird and like off. And I think it's because I'm in this like transformative state. Like it's so weird, but I can't even explain it to people, but I just feel like I've been buffering this entire week. Like mentally, I'm buffering. Like I'm like, okay, we're taking everything that I said I was doing before and everything I said I wanted before, and it's gone now. Like I'm like totally kind of in this transformative state of like, I think I want something different now for my life. And I'm like, I think, someone said, do you think maybe you had that breakthrough, do you think because you had that breakthrough, you'll be more open to meeting new guys? And I think, yes, absolutely. I realized before, like when I was dating in quotes, and I say it in quotes because like I was dating, but I don't know if I was really dating with the intention to like actually date, if that makes sense. Like I was doing it, but like I knew I was choosing the wrong people, or I knew I was just doing it to like get out there a little bit here and there. Whereas now I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I have more intention behind it. And it doesn't mean that I'm like so eager to date right away or like to find someone right away, because it's summer. Like I'm literally about to go live in the Hamptons. So like, I'm like also, I'm open to it, but also it's like, I don't expect to find it right away. But I'm just explaining to you guys kind of that mindset shift that happened to me that feels weird and different. And I just feel like a little more open now. I don't know. Someone said, I get it. Like sometimes we do it just because we're supposed to. But it's different when we feel ready. Yeah. It's just like a crazy thing that, I don't know. I've had like a shift. It's weird. I know I keep saying that, but I just can't explain it. So then this week I get back to the city and I'm exhausted. Like mentally, I was just drained, and emotionally and just everything. And I think it was like me getting back into a routine. Like when I'm out of my routine, and I've talked about this on my pod before too, like I'm out of whack completely. Like a routine is what I really rely on to like be happy, as weird as that sounds. So this week was a lot of getting myself back into my normal routine, but also it brought up a lot of like, again, I don't know, just like shifts in my mood, shifts in my mindset, shifts in my motivation. I'm not sure if anyone else has been feeling really down this week, really tired, really unmotivated, but like I know my like focus issues have been acting up. Like I feel like I can't do anything. Like you do it, like you go through the motions, but you're like, fuck, it's like 10 times harder. I think hormonally too, like it depends where you're at in your cycle. That always affects me, which is so weird. But I had my period like last week or 2 weeks ago, and then it's weird, like usually it's before my period, like the week before, that I'm like super unmotivated and like feel horrible. The microphone, oh guys, it's because I'm recording my podcast right now live, so that's why I have the microphone, by the way. Yeah, I don't know, like the week before usually I like get really exhausted and unmotivated and whatever, and then as soon as I get it I feel better. But for some reason, this time I got it and then I had a mental breakdown after. So I think maybe it's unrelated. Who knows? But if anyone else has been struggling with that, I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know what to do when I graduate. I'm really scared and confused and embarrassed. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I know it's easier said than done, but definitely don't be embarrassed. Like nobody knows what they want to do when they graduate. Like literally no one. If you even me who like in quotes knew what I wanted to do, I still didn't know where I was going to end up. There could be a person to you that you look at and you think they're so confident in what they're going to do, and trust me, in 2 years from now, it's going to make a 180 or a 360 or whatever you call it. Like seriously, when you graduate college, it makes me realize sometimes when I think back to it, how little I actually knew and how much more of life I had to live. And I know in like a few years from now, I'm going to look back on now and say the same thing about myself, but it's really true. Like, it's so crazy how many of my friends who are just extremely smart, capable individuals, when they graduated college, they just like did not know. It will change a million times. So whatever you're doing now, just know it's okay if that's not like for life. Do it temporarily, make friends, be social, learn more about yourself. It's about the full picture when you're graduating college. It's not just about the career part, because you're transforming as an individual. And so when you change, everything will change. Your career might change, your friends might change. So allow that to happen. It's normal. I went to Indiana University also, by the way. Carly, how do you feel about dating? I kind of just went through that whole spiel, so we're going to skip over that for now. But IDK, I guess because I've always felt like I need to have a plan. Girl, you are preaching to the choir. I am the type of person that like quite literally has always planned out her entire life. You know, it's so silly about that. Life does not go as planned, quite literally ever. Like you can plan as much as you want. I think I was talking to my therapist today. She said, I said, my biggest fear is the unknown and the future. And she said, girl, everyone's biggest fear is that. So you can't plan certain parts of life. They just happen and they change, and your motives change. Just like how I just talked about my dating life. Like I my motive for so many years was my career, and I was really into my friends and going out, but really just like my career and being an individual and growing as an individual. And then all of a sudden, like my head is on a swivel because I'm like, oh shit, now I feel like I just missed all these years of dating, and now this is what I want now. So that was kind of a tangent, but trust me, like you can't plan for how your life is going to go because it just goes. Do you feel like you've distanced in any way with Hallie and Jazz since they got boyfriends? I love you, Carly. Love you too. I think that part of it maybe has to do with boyfriends. Part of it doesn't. Because at the same time, there was always like in the way beginning, it was like 3 of us. But at a certain point, it was them and then me, and that wasn't their doing. And I feel like there was like a big misconception online, or like people liked to put me as like, like the victim, or like, I don't know. But like, that's not how it was at all. Like, it was very much like, I don't have like a one best friend. I kind of like live on my own, and I'm very independent. Not that there's anything wrong with not being. Majority of people like would prefer to have like a bestie or like someone. It's just, I never was like that. I never am like that. I have a lot of best friends, and I like to surround myself with all different kinds of people, and I like to be alone a lot. And that's just how I roll. And like have so much love for like everyone. At the same time, yes, when best friends get boyfriends, you do tend to like drift a little, not a lot, but like your priorities shift, because when you're in your later 20s, later 20s, and you're in a serious relationship with someone, they become your number one person. Like, you can have multiple number ones. You can have your like boyfriend number one, fiance number one, whatever, and then your best friend number one. But at the same time, I truly do believe that like when I find my person, they will be my number one person. And like my best friends will always be my best friends, but the person I will spend the majority of my time with will be like that significant other. And I feel like that just happens. So yes and no. Like, yes, distance has grown, but I just think that's part of life too. And people go through cycles with friends, and I don't know. I just think it's normal. What are some tips you have for someone moving to New York post-grad? I'm about to move to Brooklyn. Well, first of all, congrats. Brooklyn is like where it's at, I feel like, lately. My best friend wants to move to Brooklyn. So although I'm sad because I'm like, you can't move far from me, I'm like, okay, at least it's like not like LA or something where she's actually really far from me. I think the best advice for someone moving to New York is to always have an open mind, and really take advantage of the fact that like everyone in New York when we're moving here is trying to make new friends. Like, everyone is in the same boat. So if you have one person that you're with and you guys are going out to dinner, it is so normal for like your friend to run into a friend at the restaurant and be like, what are you doing tonight? And then you guys all go out together. Or you say, what are you doing next week? We should all hang out. And then the 4 of you grab dinner, and then you invite a friend from work in, and like all of a sudden there's like a big group dinner happening. Such a fun part of living in the city. It's like the most fun thing ever, because everyone is just so eager to make more friends and to like be in a group. As long as you're like an open person. I like have hung around a lot of really like open, I feel like majority of people in New York are, even like New York influencer scene, like completely open, more the merrier. Everyone just wants to hang out with each other. And I feel like that is New York, like, because it's just such like a melting pot of people from all different places. Everyone really is eager and open to get to know different types of people from all walks of life. Do you have advice on someone who hasn't dated in their 20s? I'm 22. Yeah. First of all, don't let the fact that you haven't dated stunt you from starting. Like, do not let that stunt you, because the truth is, I know so many people that did not start dating. Actually, I had boyfriends in the past, but I didn't start going on real dates until I like moved to the city. But like, even like people like my cousins, like they never had any boyfriends growing up, and their first boyfriend, even Hallie, for example, like she didn't have her first, sorry, Hallie, I'm like, but everyone already knows this. She didn't have her first boyfriend until her 20s also. So don't let that make you feel insecure when you're going out with people or meeting new people, because it's not at all a disadvantage. It means absolutely nothing. And you're on the same playing field as literally everyone else. So try to like throw that idea out the window. That's like, if something in your brain is telling you like you're inexperienced, you don't know what you're doing, like, it's not true. Like, fake it till you make it. When you meet the right person, you're going to be comfortable around them and it's all going to be good. The best thing you can do is put yourself out there. If you don't feel comfortable dating right away, try to go on double dates, go on like hangouts. Like, just if you think one of your friends, boyfriend's friends is cute or something, or like your guy friend's friends, like say, oh, let's all grab drinks together. Let's all go to dinner together. Let's all go bowling together. I think like that's a really safe bet because let's face it, like when we get nervous, it's a lot easier. When we're around our friends, like they bring out the best in us. And so we're going to be a lot calmer, a lot funnier, a lot more chill. And that person's actually going to be able to get to know us better. And we'll be able to get to know them better. And then after that, you can go off and have a one-on-one date if that's what you feel like doing. But I just feel like the group hang, although it might sound a little juvenile, is actually a really helpful thing for people that get anxious with dating. I don't know how to be alone. I'm always with my BFF and I'm about to move to Nashville alone. I think the main thing with people that don't know how to be alone, and I know this is about to get really deep, is like what's bothering you that you're not addressing. Like, I feel like a lot of my friends that really have issues with being alone, like they literally cannot do anything by themselves or without calling someone up on the phone. Like the second they're with their thoughts, they have to like call me on the phone and be like, I'm walking from A to B. Like, I think it's really important for people to be alone with their thoughts. That's when things come up. That's when you start to process things. You learn about yourself. You learn about maybe what's bothering you and you process what's bothering you. So, I think it's a muscle that needs to be worked and practiced and strengthened. And so even if you can go maybe 10 minutes, set a timer, 20 minutes without doing anything, without talking to anyone, just sitting in silence and letting those thoughts kind of come in slowly. Notice what comes up for you. I don't mean to sound like a therapist, but like notice like what thoughts start to creep in, what's bothering you. And you don't need to do it for more than 10 minutes. You know, slow and steady wins the race. Like do that once a week. But I just think it's important to have those moments where like you start to let those thoughts creep in, because when you're alone, those things happen and you can't distract yourself forever. Like part of growing up and learning about yourself is being able to sit with yourself. One of my best friends, we lived together. I felt like she really, before I kind of forced her into living alone, she couldn't sit with her thoughts. I think she'll probably admit that as well. Like, I feel like she was always on the go, always moving. And for the first time, I feel like something really healthy happened when she moved in by herself. She was able to like sit, and I feel like she grew as a person. I always talk to her about this, like that year or whatever that she moved in with herself. Like, I felt like she grew as a person so much and became so much more mature and so much more self-aware. And so I know it is so scary, but on the other side of that fear is like a really, really, really improved version of yourself. And I promise. So I know it's scary, but I have faith that you can do it and you will be a better version of yourself when you learn to kind of just be alone and, just learn to be an individual. How do girls avoid being jaded dating in NYC? That's a great question. I think I have become extremely pessimistic, yet still hopeful when it comes to dating in NYC. But I think the thing is, it may be pessimistic is bad. I think it's really important when you're dating in New York City to be guarded. And that is because these men will fuck with you. Okay? These men will fuck with you. Like, majority of the women I know, have just simply been fucked with. I've been fucked with recently, even after like all these years of thinking like I've got it together. I beat the fuck boy ways. Like, I know better. I didn't know better. I've done it all again and again. So it's like it sneaks up on you when you least expect it. I think it's always important to just come back to core values and core standards. Core standards like, is this person being consistent with me? Like, it should be clear if a person wants you. If you guys know Serena Kerrigan, of course, I'm sure you all do. Good friend of mine. She always says, like, if it's not like 100% like fuck yes, then like it's a no. And it is the truest thing. Like I listened to someone today or like I think it was today, someone was saying like men are naturally hunters. I don't know if anyone else saw that TikTok, but it was so true. Men naturally in their most like biological form, like they are like hunters. Like they hunt their prey and they get what they want. If they really want something, they will get it. It doesn't mean we need to sit back, lie back, and like not do anything, not lift a finger. But it does mean that like we shouldn't have to like be throwing up stories to remind them that we exist. Cause like I've been there and it looks really loserish. And like I've been there not that long ago, like just a couple months ago. And now looking back, I'm like, fuck, I fell into that shit again. Yeah, men, when they want you, if they want you, you will know. And I just think you need to always come back to that if you're unsure about someone. And if you're like, I don't know if this guy's sure about me, take that and run with it. Know that in your head. You should know. If a guy wants to see you, he will follow up. Okay? Someone just said, let the men do the pursuing. And I agree. I'm sorry. I agree. Like, and it's not like you can initiate or you can reply, but it just means like at its core of the relationship, you need to know with 100%, like 100%, whatever. I'm like, why can't I think of the word? You need to know 100% that this man wants you back. You shouldn't have doubts in your mind that this man wants you back. That's the tea on that. Tips about another girl / friend / peer that seems to copy me. I don't want to seem insecure. I mean, look, it's the biggest form of flattery. And also, let's be for real. People can copy you, but they will never be you. Okay? People will never be you because you are an individual. Someone can copy everything about you. They can copy your hair, your outfit, your looks, your career, your everything. They are not you. Okay? They're not you. So to me, I don't fucking mind. Do whatever you want to do. Like, for example, people copy me on TikTok. I see girls trying to like do the whole like body positivity, like I'm this, I'm that. Okay, but then you're not genuine. Or maybe you're interested in that, but you can't think of it in your own way. Okay? So it's like, don't let that stuff bother you because be confident enough in yourself and who you are as like, they can never be you. Okay? It just won't happen. Did you just try to gatekeep body image? Oh my God. Okay. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, first of all. No. People talk about body image all the time, but there are certain situations and certain videos that I've seen on TikTok that are legit word for word copying me. So if we really want to get deep with it, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about gatekeeping body image, obviously. But I've seen some things. With that being said, I've never cared. I've never said anything to the person. I've never said anything on TikTok because I don't give a fuck. Copy me, copy my video. You're not me. Thank you. Anyways, someone just wrote some tea on here and now I'm like, oh wait, there was a couple, but now I'm just, okay. Well, first of all, found out my boyfriend has a pregnant wife, told me he still loves me. Sorry, I just had to pray for that man because he is done. He's absolutely done. He does not get you anymore. Sorry. There's nothing more for me to say about that. Sorry. There's absolutely nothing more for me to say. Let's see what else we got in these questions. Tips on legitimately not caring how other people perceive you. Ooh, this is a tough one because it's again, like I said before, it's kind of a muscle that you have to work. Like, I just think it's like, you become numb to it because you constantly are practicing not caring. Also, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I truly don't care. I think it's a lot of different things. It's one, because I know I'm a good person. I know who I am at my core. And so anyone at the end of the day can say whatever they want about me. But I put my head on the pillow at night and I know exactly who I am and I know I'm doing a good job and I know I'm doing the best I can. I know I love my family. I love my friends. I have a good heart. And so when you're worried about what other people are saying about you, come back to that. Ask yourself, do I mean well? Do I have friends that love me and care about me? Do I have family that I care for and look out for? What have I done? What have I accomplished in my life that I'm proud of? If you can lay your head at night and say you've got all of those things, who fucking cares what a person thinks about you? You think I care? A person yesterday said to me on TikTok, I don't know why you don't go on Ozempic. Like, you need it. You think I give a fuck? Why is a person telling me that? Why does a person feel the need to say that? You know why? Because they're severely unhappy. There's this quote. There's a quote by Dr. Seuss, I think. I think it's by Dr. Seuss. And it's like, those who be who you are. This is one of my favorite quotes in the world. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. And it's like the truest thing ever. Those who mind don't matter. Your real ones, they're going to love you no matter what. They aren't going to care if you gain a few pounds. They aren't going to care if you do something weird or say something weird, or you go back to your toxic ex and you're embarrassed about it. Like, those people they're going to be hard on you, but they're going to love you no matter what. So those people out there that actually care and give a shit and are talking shit, those aren't the ones you need to care about. Doesn't matter. Bieber got arrested. No way, no way, no way. No way. Wait, guys, we're live right now on Someone Give the Tea. Someone Spill the Tea. Babe, the microphone isn't on, I think. I'm actually podcasting right now. So that's why it's on, because it's happening somewhere else. Just to a cheers to Bieber getting arrested. Someone seriously, give me the tea though. What steps should I take in addressing my mom harming my body image? I know you experienced this too. Honestly, therapy is the best thing. Like, if you can convince your mom to come with you to a therapy session and talk about it with someone in the center, who can like talk through without her feeling attacked, I think that's a really great thing. I also, when I started telling my mom about my body image issues, I would send her articles a lot about like why what she's saying is harmful and about other people that were going through the same thing. And I think that was super helpful. I also think like digging to the root of like where your body image issues started and maybe where your mom started, and seeing how maybe you guys are similar and how you can relate to her. Because she might be the reason why she's hurting your body image is because she's still struggling. And actually, most likely that is why. So it's something that even you guys can work on together. Like, you come to your mom in a loving way of saying like, I've been struggling with my body image and I would really love your support in helping me, so that I can heal my relationship. But in order for me to like, you can say like, Mom, like, I'm unhappy, like I'm depressed, or like however you feel. And because your mom at the end of the day wants you to be happy. So I think a great thing is to come from that angle of being like, I'm really unhappy and I feel like I'm called to take steps to do something about it, to make myself feel better. So, because I'm going down a bad path or like whatever is happening, behind the scenes, and ask them like, in order for me to heal, it would be really helpful if you could do just X, Y, and Z. You don't have to ask for much. Just, Mom, can you maybe not talk about your body in front of me? Can we not reference any diets you're going on or what you're going to eat that day? Or maybe like not talk about losing or gaining weight, not using weight or calories in the household. Just those little tweaks can be really helpful. And then also knowing that like these things don't happen overnight, like it's going to be practice because it's a habit. And a lot of our moms, like it's really ingrained in them for so long. Even with us, like it's a practice. Even with me, it's a practice. Like, and I've been years of healing. So just knowing that like your mom is going to slip up. My mom still slips up, and it's been many years since I've kind of had those talks with her, and just like subtly reminding them and being like, hey, like, we're not going to talk about this, or like, remember, like maybe there's a code word that you can say, just little things like that can remind her without Like, the main thing is you just never want them to feel attacked, because that's when they're going to shut off and not be responsive. So you never want to feel like you're doing this to me. It's not you. It's like, this is how I'm feeling, and it would be really helpful if you could support me by X, Y, and Z. Okay. Tips on gaining financial literacy post-undergrad. That is a great question. Wrong person, wrong podcast. I'm going to be so for real. I can give great advice in so many areas. Financial literacy is absolutely not one of them. My growing up situation, I am so, so grateful. But and I'm not saying this to sound like, oh my God, like no, I'm being just, this podcast is called Real. You guys know, like, I'm being for real. I'm not the person to ask about financial literacy. There are so many incredible creators out there that are probably really good at that stuff. I'm not your budgeting girl. I have to now, after I've been on my own for many years. But growing up, I never learned about it. I don't know. Like, even like now, I feel like I'm not the best with. When I graduated college, my dad said, look, you're on your own and I'm not helping you. And I never wanted help, but it doesn't mean that I'm perfect about money. Like, I definitely probably overspend. Like, maybe as girls, we all do. One thing that's like, I'll say one piece of advice for financial literacy, and it's so stupid, but this is the only thing I got for you. One, public transportation. Ubers are so fucking expensive, but do not go on public transportation at night. I'm not suggesting that, because I don't do public transportation at night in the city. It's very scary. And don't walk alone at night either. Don't do that. Two, just like, don't order in during the week. Really, really try to not order in during the week, because that'll get you. Ordering is really expensive in New York. So I just try to cook during the week, all my meals, as much as I can. Smoothie here and there, coffee here and there, even though coffee will set you over the edge low key. I'm not good with that. Anyways, that was my spiel on financial literacy. I got nothing for you. Wrong creator. I'm proud to admit my faults. I definitely overspend. Period. Your view on not telling your girl college friend group the guy you're getting with. They got mad. Why are they getting mad? That's my question. 'Cause, like, I just feel like there's usually a reason behind it. Is it because he's toxic? If so, I mean, at the end of the day, they need to give it up and realize, like, you're going to do you. Like, have you ever had that situation with a friend where, like, your friend has gone back to their toxic boyfriend over and over and over, and, like, there's those friends that, like, get so fucking angry, and you're like, people get so mad at her, they, like, actually, like, think that they're gonna, like, stop being friends with the person over it because they get so annoyed and they're so sick of hearing the girl complain. Here's my stance. At the end of the day, a girl's gonna do what a girl's gonna do. Like, you yelling at her is never gonna change her going back to this guy. So I always say, you or your friends, whoever it is that's going back to the guy, you gotta let them learn on their own. You gotta let them get to that conclusion. It will be a harsh one, but when they do, just let him get there. But it's, like, not worth the repeated, like, telling them over and over and over again, like, how shit this guy is or whatever. Because let's face it, we're girls. Like, we're gonna, at the end of the day, exercise our options until it's not an option anymore. I don't know if that, like, answered the question, but it was kind of broad, so I just kind of gave a broad answer. What did someone say? Your view on getting married after 8 months. My view is that if you're, like, above 21, let's say, because I think your brain should be fully formed. That's just me. Like, my grandparents getting married at 18, 19, I think that's just absurd. If you do it, power to you, but it is young. You, like, maybe in, like, the Mormon or, like, different parts of the world, but in New York, that age is, like, crazy to me. Anyways, my stance on getting married after 8 months or 6 months or whatever it is, if you know, like, who am I to judge? A person can be dating for 10 years and then be married for 5 and get divorced. A person can be dating for 6 months and be married a lifetime. There's no one size fits all to these things. So I think it's really important to remember that and realize that. Frontal lobe fully forms around 25. All right, period. Well, 25 then. Yeah, I don't know why I said 21. Yeah, 25. That is old though. I mean, I think you could definitely, should you wait till 25? Maybe. Maybe you should wait till 25 to get married. But look, I get it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone's on their own timeline. We can never judge people. We just simply can't. Does anyone have any final questions before I sign off? And then this is going straight up onto Spotify, which is going to be really fun. And I hope for the people that are watching the next day enjoyed this kind of like Q&A, chill, live style podcast. I got engaged this weekend. I'm 25. Congratulations. Oh my God. Well, you're 25, so you got the cut. Okay, I'm going to close it out here. But for the people on TikTok that are listening, this podcast will be posted tomorrow if you want to hear the episode again. Or if you want to listen to any other episodes, my podcast is called Real with Carly Weinstein, and it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts. And the Instagram is Real with CW. And my Instagram, my personal Instagram is just Carly_Weinstein. I'm also doing a giveaway soon, so look out for that. But you have to be in the New York City area to enter. And then if you're watching this on real time on Real with Carly Weinstein, if you're watching this, listening on Spotify or Apple or anything, thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure to give this a 5-star rating and review, and to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow us on TikTok if you haven't already. Us as in me, because I'm the team, at Real with Carly Weinstein, and Instagram Real with CW. And I love you, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
What a wonderful world.